What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phones and Drones. So here we are about 3-4 weeks into our new Model S ownership, and I have a couple thoughts, and I want to start right from the beginning on this drive. This auto shift out of park beta is awesome. I have it active. I'm going to go ahead and buckle my seatbelt like it's telling us, and you can see it automatically knows it's clear in front of us. We'll tap on the brake and drive forward. This is exactly what I would have done out of every drive I've been on, all the initiations of auto shift. I've had one issue where I wanted to go straight into a wall instead of reverse, but beyond that, I have had no issues with this function. I just wanted to start out there because there was some conversation after all the talk about the yoke and all that, if that was the best move for this car. And yeah, I definitely think this was a great move towards the whole less is more mentality that Tesla has. So no stalks, park, drive, reverse, neutral is all handled very, very well from auto shift or from software. Again, they did come out with the whole hard buttons on the actual, basically in the center console under the wireless charging pad. If you did want to use that in a pinch, if your screen was off, you do have that capability as well in an emergency. Again, I've not had any issues yet to need those buttons. But moving on beyond that, I just kind of touched on it. The other polarizing aspect of this vehicle obviously is the yoke. And aside from the new muscle memory that you need in order to know to remember, hey, you don't have to switch gears, switch anything on your stalks for, you know, your left turn signal or right turn signal or headlights or windshield wipers. Aside from that, this is a non-issue. I've said it in every one of my other videos. If you follow the channel, you'd see I love it. The only thing I didn't expect coming from a round wheel is the actual length of the yoke and how much higher it is. If you like to steer with your knees at some point, that is really not an option anymore on the yoke, unfortunately. But the comfort of using this is phenomenal. The way Tesla designed it, so you can actually have your thumbs up here if you want to drive with basically your fingertip controls at 9 and 3. You can hold both hands here. The design on the door, the cutout right here is perfect to drive one-handed with your left hand, or if you want to drive on the bottom with your right hand, the armrest is in a perfect position for that as well. I've had no issues at all using any of these functions or driving one-handed. You can kind of see what a turn looks like. I think the compromise you get from not having that full complete circle for that complete visibility on this drive is, or driving this vehicle, it's worth it. Obviously, this isn't new for any Model S or Model X owners, but coming from our other three that we had, I do think it is nice having this secondary display right here as well. I've had no issues with, obviously, autopilot. I've had no issues with the, basically the cruise control function that you have. There is a lot more attention to detail in this than I've remembered in any past Tesla, as far as build quality and consistency. And obviously Teslas are always upgrading over software. We just got our first one with that Disney Plus edition and the auto dim mirror option to turn on and off, so no issues with the software yet either. It's been a phenomenal ownership period, and yes, you can still say you're in the honeymoon phase and all that with this, but I have had no issues with this as I've had with my Model 3. Moving beyond that, a couple of the other additional things I like is, again, that fit and finish with this wood grain. A lot of people were disappointed that there was rumors on the carbon fiber being delayed in the Model S's, and that's causing some sort of pushback for people's orders. If you guys are still waiting on your order with carbon fiber, this wood looks great. I obviously got the cream interior, so you have that color walnut-ish wood in here, and it does just pop. Unlike my Mercedes I had, it's more of a polished wood in there. This is actually much more coarse. You can feel the wood grain in it, and I definitely do appreciate it. Again, I think it gives you a much more premium feel. A lot of other questions and concerns come about with the 21-inch Arachnid rims, aside from the 19s. Aside from the obvious that you're losing about 20 miles of range, I believe, from 375 to 405, the ride comfort with the air suspension is phenomenal. I'm in Florida, if you guys don't know. I don't have a lot of terrible roadways necessarily like you would in the north from the snow degrading it, but it's something to keep in mind that if you are okay sacrificing a little bit of range, these 21-inch arachnids not only just give it a much more polished and finished look, but the ride is equally comfortable. I have arrows on my 18-inch arrows on the Model 3, and it's comfortable. Again, this is air suspension versus that, but it's very comparable. I love the ride, no complaints on that. If you're up in the air about the 19s or 21s, just go with it. Get that really, I guess you can say, pimped out final look with those 21s if you can swing it. Aside from that, I haven't gotten around to doing a lot of upgrades yet. I'm going to get the windows tinted eventually. I did get those floor mats that Tesla just came out with. They're about $180 on Tesla shop right now. But the all-weather floor mats do personally, I think, make a big difference to have, especially again in Florida with sand getting in the car from going to the beach and taking the little one and all that. So if you'd like, I'll throw up a link in that video, or for that video as well, so you can see what those look like if you're interested. Beyond that, the new software version, again, I kind of touched on this as well in a past video, but 10.2 feels like a patchwork fix for before version 11 comes out. It is not perfect by any means, and what I mean by that is you'll have sometimes overlapping menus, and sometimes swiping gestures don't work quite as well as you would hope for it to with Tesla's UI. With the UI, you would assume it to be a little more seamless. One of the big things they've done is make it so it's all customizable here, where you can drag around your widgets, basically, you can say, from left to right, depending on who you want to control everything. And it's very finicky. I've kind of mastered it now from doing it so much, but just something to keep in mind there as one area of opportunity for Tesla. Aside from the larger body style, the much more aggressive stance, the vehicle looks gorgeous. I've had a lot of compliments on it, and I've had no issues really with any panel gaps in the back, no issues with the trunk, the frunk, anywhere, honestly. So that's been very happy and good to see. The acceleration is no joke. Even going 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds without a rollout, you're probably pushing about 2.8, 2.9 with a rollout on this. If you don't want to, if you're not the biggest car enthusiast for speed and the need for speed, you are going to be very happy with this version as well, getting that instead of the sub 2-second time in a Plaid, especially for the $40,000, $45,000 premium now that you're going to pay if you order it today. Speaking about orders too, please guys keep in mind, make sure to use that referral link we'll throw down below. It gives everybody 1,000 free supercharging miles, including us, so I greatly appreciate it. Keep in mind, again, even if you've ordered and you did not give a referral link at the time of order, you can still add this up until you take delivery. The moment you take delivery of the vehicle, you can't, but as long as you add it before you take delivery, you are in good shape there. So again, I'll throw that up in the description as well. Call your sales advisor if they're less than stellar. I'll throw it in the email, who you email for Tesla referral, to have that added on the back end. Don't even have to talk to anybody. You'll get your confirmation, and as soon as you take delivery, you get those 1,000 free supercharging miles. Take advantage of it before it goes away, because Tesla's already said at some point in the near future that will be done with. Aside from that, I did not get FSD on this. I have it on my Model 3. I don't see the full value in it yet. I know a lot of people might argue against that. However, I couldn't justify the $10,000 premium for it currently. The only thing I do wish you could take advantage of is when you are driving on autopilot for not necessarily auto lane change, but if you signal a lane change for the vehicle to do that for you instead of having to brake autopilot, shift lanes, and then reactivate it. But again, I'm really stretching here to find some sort of complaint. The sound system as well sounds phenomenal. Suspension is great, all the options, nothing new here. If you guys had a previous Model S or Model X, you know about it. It works great. The charging is supposed to be one of the fastest charging vehicles out there today. It is not, I have not tested it yet on a 250 kilowatt charger yet. I haven't really needed it. I drive it a lot around the city streets, so that's something to keep in mind. But you should not have to wait a substantial amount of time to supercharge this at all anymore. Even on 150s, it is still a huge improvement. Anything else in the settings, there's nothing really unique to this vehicle. Everything's somewhat comparable that you have here. What else do you guys want to see in a future video? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. I don't want to ramble on too much about this. You guys can get the gist of it. I'm very happy with my purchase. If you guys are waiting and have ordered since last December or early this year, I'm telling you guys, stick it out, wait for it. It is worthwhile. I will be doing an acceleration video here so you guys can kind of get an idea. I don't have a draggy. I'm, again, not big on the speed. It's more the range and comfort. That's why I went with this for us. But let me know what else you guys want to see. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, make sure to use that referral code, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.